I think that's the difference, though. I think that I think that women are taking the risk by being there for the guy, right? I think the problem is there's a disadvantage, and the disadvantage is this young lady has lived and she's seen how to, I like to call it the art of finesse. There's actually a book, it's called The Art of Finesse, right? Maybe your mom was a finesser. If you're giving out gifts, she probably finessed the husband, right? So the daughter is going to be a lot like the mom. She knows the things to say. She knows how to move. She knows, and he's never been, because black women going to keep it real. We going to be like, you know, it's that tough love. But when you're working with the art of finesse, that can work on an 18, 19, 20-year old. And I think a lot of times, and I'm not all of them, a lot of times those women learn that from their mothers.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I will come to the defense on some black women in this regard that they can exude the same attitude that the other females can exude, but it will be more taxing and it would be more of a knock against her than the other types of women. Because I ain't seen a number of rich guys with these weird, unruly, white women or Asian women, and they just keep having them doing this in their ear and stuff like that. There's a number of men that were played sports and stuff like that, and they still got married or in relationships with those type of women, right? It's just that sometimes, like, I kind of agree with this, that sometimes when a black guy's with a black woman, we hold a different level of tolerance for the back and forth that we interact with. We don't tolerate as much of the attitudes of some black women, especially if you get to certain levels. But I don't agree with the idea that we were talking about earlier, which is that women weren't traveling. They were going to schools out of state. They would travel for family reunions and stuff like that. Women were getting around. Matter of fact, a lot of women that I know, they had I call it the frizzle idea. You know, get messy, make mistakes. Your 20s is for you to quote unquote to experience life. And then once you get older, and you find yourself, and even Miss Taken was talking about, you got to learn yourself, you got to know who you are, and this, that, and the third. How long does that take? It can take a lifetime to do that. So if that's what women are waiting for, to experience and learn and go travel and go do this and figuring out what they like and finding themselves and identity and stuff like that, all that stuff take time. So then if you just tack on that, hey, I'm seeing what happened to the other women, and their relationship didn't last the marriage. So I'm really about to focus on me because I'm finding out that brothers ain't loyal, even though I'm doing quote unquote what I'm supposed to do. But that leads me to Trigger Mike's point and what we have talked about before. There's no guarantees, and that women are getting upset because they aren't receiving the benefits of the things that they were investing into relationships. But when the shoe's on the other foot, a lot of women laugh at the guys that give these women money, they give them time, they give them all of these things, and then they get played by these women. Literally saw a woman the other day. She was dating this dude, well, kind of in the beginning talking stages.
You
She
know
made
her,
up
or you just saw her because you.
I don't know her personally. She just talked about this situation,
Oh,
right? She said that there was a guy that was kind of interested, and she made up this story that she ended up in an accident, right? And she ended up in an accident with her car, and she used the story of that accident to get 2,000 from this guy for some reason, right? Then she realized that the money that he gave was going to probably insinuate to him that he should get a reward, sex or something like that, right? So you know what she did? She ghosted him took his $2,000 and went on about his business.
She's trifling.
Be that as it may, the thing is it was his fault for giving her the money.
Oh,
He
no
made
doubt.
an investment into that woman, and she just took that thing and just bounced.
She got
And
into an accident. I'm sorry to hear that.
you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that this is what happens all the time in relationships. What men
That's not a
give,
relationship though. But that was that were they in a relationship?
but even before the relationship, these men are expected to invest on the front end for even the hopes of getting some sort of investment out of you.
$2,000. Yeah, he was stupid. That was dumb. But let me let
That
me
nigga
let,
dumb.
let me just say, because that's not normal. People, men ain't dropping 2 grand to date. No,
But
that's
it's
a
not
very
about that.
abnormal
It's
situation.
not the
How do
specific
you
number.
explain
It's
OnlyFans? Can't stop it.
Very only finish like.
Well, what I'm saying is you can't you're not it's not to for us to just stop at the actual number. It's the fact that an investment of some form for whatever reason was given, whether it was time, money, whatever was given,
It was wasted.
and many brothers have been robbed of this, which is why you also have the issues that women have, which is men not wanting to commit because they've invested themselves into women that they just met, and then these women was just like, huh, they took it, smiled in their face, and then they dipped.
Well, that's to me is a poor like you give somebody $2,000. That's just dumb decision making. That's a
Well,
poor.
we agree, everybody agreed that was dumb, and he got
But
played.
so even if he gets played, let's just say let's compare the two. Even if he gets played and he lost $2,000, you can always make $2,000 back. You cannot buy back time. Women lose a lot of time messing around with the wrong men. We already talk about your 20s, your 30s are the prime of your life, right? She can't get that back. If she invests that time in the wrong man, she can't get that back. You understand what I'm saying? You can make that $2,000. Not to say that it's right because that was just trifling. But what I'm saying is that there's no comparison when it comes to the two. And I just want to make it very, very clear. We're not promoting don't travel. Some people need to travel. What we're trying to knock down is traveling for promiscuous reasons, right? But you should travel. You should
You know,
travel, learn other cultures. Like that's the best thing you can do is go to another country to learn about another culture, learn, see how other people are doing things. Like let's because I'm so tired of people saying traveling like it's bad, like education like it's bad, travel like it's bad. No, these are good things.
you
These
know
are
what?
things you want to do, but you have to do it for the right reason.
You're right, Shan. You're absolutely right. That's why you should tell them when they say, I want to travel and see the world. Can't you do that with your husband? I'm just saying.
Absolutely, it's a great companion. Like you can do that with right. You're right.
Yeah, I saw that video where the girls were like, what percentage of women in relationships and marriage cheat on girls' trips? Every single one was like 80%, 90%,
I don't think
Well,
that's true.
Mike, quick question.
80%, 90%. They were
You're
like,
not
what do you
married.
think they're going for? Like, it was hilarious.
Mike,
I mean,
if
we
you're
knew
not
that already, but
married, then are you saying that women shouldn't travel? Like, cause you're saying it is activity. Absolutely, you should and can, do that with
no.
your mate.
So
If
what
I'm
I will, yeah,
single, I shouldn't sit around waiting
yeah.
for myself to get married and not have these experiences because what if I never get married?
Hmm.